This is the second video presentation for the Case Animal course. As you view this video, make notes of important information. Pause, repeat, and resume the video whenever necessary. Domestication, Lesson 2.1, Taming Animals. You just completed Lesson 1.1, Animal Planet, where you explored the diversity of animal agriculture by analyzing the uses of animal products and byproducts. The interaction between animals and people has been essential to human survival. The domestication of animals and plants led to structured civilizations, growing populations, and the advent of production agriculture. What does domestication mean to you? Pause the video to record your thoughts. Resume the video to compare your answer to the definition. Domestication is the act of bringing wild animals under the control of humans over a long period of time for the purpose of providing useful products and services. The process involves careful handling, breeding, and care of the animal. Why did our ancestors begin to domesticate animals? The early domestication of wolves may have been partially out of convenience. Wolves protected tribes of people and assisted in hunting. They in turn received some protection, a steady food supply, and companionship. Agriculture production of both plants and animals allowed a small group of people to produce food for many, thus giving the others the opportunity to develop new technology, such as tools, weapons, and written language. As society produced more food and shelter, the need to follow herds of animals diminished. This more sedentary lifestyle gave rise to larger families and better nutrition, in turn contributing to the growth in population. As the ability and knowledge of farmers increased, they began selecting plants and animals for desirable traits. This led to early genetic modifications, breed development, and eventually food surpluses and stores. The 6 characteristics of domestication are diet, growth rate, captive breeding, disposition, temperament, and social hierarchy. During this presentation, you will learn more about each one. Remember to take notes on these 6 topics. Animals must have a flexible plant-based diet for domestication. One reason is cost. Carnivores are much more expensive to care for. A second reason is efficiency. Herbivores consume less biomass overall. Plant eaters are at a lower trophic level than carnivores. Dogs may be carnivores in nature, but most commercial dog foods are grain-based. For practical purposes, the reproductive cycle of animals must be short enough for selective breeding to allow change. Slowly maturing animals such as the elephant mature so slowly that it is nearly impossible to make significant genetic progress in a lifetime. Small animals, particularly rabbits and mice, mature fast enough and can reproduce with such speed that they are excellent candidates for laboratory and genetic research. Some species of animals have long, complex courtship processes, and captivity may inhibit that process. These species will not mate without courting, and in some cases the female may not ovulate or be receptive to the male. Carnivores are among the least likely animals to domesticate because humans and other animals can be a food source for them. When combined with an aggressive disposition, human safety becomes a limiting factor of domesticating certain kinds of animals. The ability to predict behavior is essential, and some species seemingly disposed to domestication are excluded due to their unpredictable nature. Grizzly bears and zebras are excellent examples. Most animals have a flight zone, which is an area that causes an animal to move away from an apparent threat. Domesticated animals can overcome the flight response. While some species can be trained to overcome the flight response, others, such as the gazelle, cannot. Many wild animals can be tamed and will be less flighty, but it is not or cannot be bred into them. A species must be willing to submit to a human leader. This is seen often with imprinting, particularly in geese. Dependence on people for food and care often necessitates this modification of social structure. Some people question whether cats are truly domesticated due to their apparent lack of submission to humans. Here is a quick review of domestication. Some animals can be partially domesticated or raised in captivity. If humans cannot control and modify an animal's appearance or behavior, the animal is not fully domesticated. Many wild animals can fit into one or more of the 6 characteristics of domestication. However, the combination of all 6 characteristics is essential for full domestication. To be truly domesticated, the entire species must meet the requirements. There may be examples of tame individuals within a species, but if the species as a whole remains wild, the species is not domesticated. For example, the dog versus wolf. There are numerous breeds of dogs that consistently rely on humans. Wolves can be bred and raised in captivity, but special care must be taken in the upbringing of the pups to tame them. The wolf pups retain the overall characteristic of those in the wild. As a review, mark or highlight 3 key points in your notes that are important to remember from this presentation. List 2 ideas or concepts that relate to previous knowledge. List any questions you have about this topic. Discuss these questions with your instructor. Keep any notes you have from this presentation organized and available for use throughout the course. Through Activity 211, Harnessing the Wild, you will conduct behavioral and historical research on a variety of animals. You will also compare domestic and wild animals using the characteristics of domestication discussed in this presentation. This will help you understand how domestication of animals is achieved through breeding, handling, and training. Your instructor will share how you will select your animal species for research and record the information.